Welcome everybody to Winners League Week 4 as we continue along to see who will be making their way up the groups. Today, Mike, is going to be 3 Group D matches. So I think this is going to give us a really good telltale sign of what's happening within this group, who's moving up, who's moving down, kind of where all these teams stand within this group. Should be a great day of matches. We're going to kick it off with Dogs of War versus Mythic up first. And then, of course, we have Intact versus Royal. And then we have Cultivate, also known as Victus, versus The Quest. Now, of course, these are all players and teams we are now infinitely familiar with, and we're becoming more and more familiar, especially with teams like Dogs of War and the Intact, who are kind of like the newcomers into our eyes. And it's been a journey, but today we continues. The Dogs of War up against the Beasts, that is Mythic. It's going to be a tough one, but it is Dust 2, and I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into the pistol round. And let's get straight to the action.
We should be in a moment. This is sort of a bit of a new look Mythic. You've got Lex coming in place of Lasky, who played last season, the last few tournaments with them. So we've seen a fair amount from the Dogs of War so far, although I think Calypso is a new addition. I'm going to take a peek and make sure this isn't somebody I should already know.
Calypso is a French-Canadian.
I think he's a new addition to the roster. I don't think he's played with them before, so that's going to be a new look.
Yeah, are you familiar with his name at all?
Not terribly.
Okay, yeah, he's a French Canadian. He used to be on an ex-synthetic roster. He's kind of like pretty popular among the French Canadian scene. He's kind of up there with like SML and all these players. So he's a really good player to watch actually. But Jet will be the first one opening up the round for us. But look at this, Explicit and Jet are so wounded. Not so much Dogs of War, more than Puppies of War as they fall, and it's gonna be insane on sight. And wow, that is nuts.
Man lives up to his name in a big way, and it's going to be when to close it out. Flom only gets 1 in the trade, so 2 players up. The Dogs of War do claim that pistol round off of the back of a nice hold from Insane. Damage just a little bit too much for the Cat players, but they delayed long enough for him to get back into position on site and line up the shots. And off of the back of that big 3K, he's going to be picking up the AUG and a full set of utility right away. So that's a nice little treasure trove for Insane. Pretty solid buy, all things considered, for the Dogs of War. And it's just going to be pistols on the other side as Mythic seek to save up and get that economy healthy to start. Needs in early, going to check Anger a little bit, but it's presence down mid, trying to run down the Scout and win it out. Scout going to hold up in the action, and he's finding more. Jet just tapping away and finding bodies and heads. This is not looking good early for Mythic as they are walking wounded, trying to find some sort of passage on the site.
Yeah, now they're just getting mowed over. Now, of course, this was only just pistols and armor, so we weren't really expecting much. Maybe a couple deagles, of course, because Mythic are more than capable with those weapons. But Dogs of War pick up a nice, clean second round. Now we're moving on to the third. The economy here has recovered, of course, for Mythic, so it'll likely be AK-47s, although they will be very limited on the utility. I think it'll only be Haze and Flom that have anything of worth, really. Just smokes, flashbangs. Lex is going to go ahead and pick up a flashbang as well. Flom could have picked up a smoke, but opted not to. It's going to be fast way towards long. Hey, it's about to get messy.
Messy indeed. The AUG sliding through, and they don't manage to find the kill before the counter flashes bloom, so Insane can line up a couple of big frags. The nades will go in to make Cole a little uncomfortable as well. He's going to have to come up huge. He finds one, but has to duck behind the dumpster, and they've still got a player in pit, so Insane has such a strong position to play from. Anger going to be next into his crosshair, but Anger doesn't even let himself get knocked terribly low before he finds the kill. Haze through mid. This could be huge. He's going to find the flank on a 1. Knows where the second is as well, but Calypso will manage to slip away. Still a man advantage brought through. That's massive. It's going to be up to Jet up close with the P250 to find damage. Well, he can find 1. That'll be all she wrote. Now it's going to be Calypso, the man you were talking up a moment ago, in a 1v2. Where he's got to clutch this out. He's got a minute 5 to work with. The bomb will be punched in just now. But Calypso might have the element of surprise here. They had a good idea he was over towards Cat.
Definitely.
But it's been a long time since then.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention as well, Jet took down one of the healthier players, so he's actually left a wounded Poland. So there is hope here for Dogs of War. Calypso just has to figure out where they are, maybe sniff it out. Now he's found Poland. Of course, he doesn't really know which of these targets is wounded, so he's not going to be as aggressive. But he needs to find a kill early if he wants any sort of success. But I think he's starting to realize now they are in a crossfire. They're not playing together. That smoke will block off some of the vision, apply a little bit of the defuse pressure. Oh, he's just going to go. Oh, he can't find, he can't find his way through the smoke, and he eventually gets taken down by Haze. So there it is. Mythic pick up the first round. But, of course, that was just a bonus round for Dogs of War. So they still have a lot of money. They're not really too worried.
Sometimes smoking is bad for you, Roy.
Always, not sometimes.
So, well, in CS sometimes. Most of the time it's good for you in CS.
Yeah.
Ironically. But in this instance, didn't work out for Calypso. Loses his own bomb in the smoke. No chance for the defuse. Now it's going to be a bit of a massacre once again towards long. Look at how aggressive this early long presence is out for the Dogs of War. It turns into 2 big frags, and Jet from the car position can find more. He's looking like he's going to line up another shot, and there it is. Just annihilated on entry towards site. The bomb's committed as well. Poland's left wondering what on earth happened to his team out the catwalk, and just trying to pick up the pieces. What can he possibly hope to do? There's bodies all over the place. There's no way they even allow him a path to get to this bomb, and it's going to be insane to put him down with nary a frag found. That is a clean round for the Dogs of War, and what a way to answer back the first gun round for Mythic.
Yeah, man, look at their economy now. They're really hurting. But I do like that play there from Jet. I mean, this man was glass cannon with the AWP, recognized the split, immediately looked back towards Cat, picked them apart on the elbow. That's very well played by them. Now they have themselves a nice little, little freebie. Hopefully. They have no armor. They only have, what, 1 Deagle, 3 P250s, a Glock, and then a flash and a smoke to work with. That's going to be difficult to try to even transition to a bomb site, but it might be the B split here, or it might just be a Cat bomb rush as soon as that Molotov fades. But Mythic's not looking good for them in this round, at least.
It's really interesting. The Dogs of War have been sort of gambling presence in a big way. This round it's towards mid, and it's going to work out. Wen just catches a quick couple of frags. He will eventually be run down. He's done enough damage between the utility and the bullets that this should just be a massacre, a cleanup. They find 2 kills, so a little bit of something to work with there, but nothing really substantial, and the op saved through as well. Calypso's still stuck on the scout, hasn't been able to upgrade. That's all right. He'll be all right with a scoped gun. Meanwhile, another full buy coming out from Mythic. But what I was saying earlier, it's kind of interesting. Dogs of War are doing, they're really gambling early on into rounds. They're either gambling heavy on long presence or heavy on Cat presence.
Yeah.
So wherever Mythic go, there's heavy CT bodies there ready to receive it. This time it's going to be long once again.
Yeah, although that's not as unusual to see on a map like Dust 2, which obviously on the A side, it's really just either Cat control or long control. You can't really split your defense up. It has to be one decision. What a shot by Calypso. That's a free AK upgrade for him. He'll take that any day of the week. Massive shot. Nice early pick. Dogs of War looking so strong in the defense right now. Full control, it seems. And Calypso, he still wants more, but he actually gets tagged down by Flom down to 8 HP. So, Ryan is a little bit reset, but Mythic's fighting uphill now.
That's so okay if you're Calypso, though. Now he's going to get the rifle. He's got the upgrade. He's made them just generally aware of the fact that they can't really go mid without at least hard clearing, right? You take one of the prongs out, you make them realize that one section of the map is closed for business, and Mythic really have no room to rumble here. They've got a player up catwalk. That's Hayes, who's trying to find a player towards car. I don't think Jet wants to give it to him. He's been holding fairly far back on this angle with great effect so far. It's really going to be left to Hayes right now to try and make a hero play towards the site and open it up. But Insane's in a great counter angle. Won't matter, though. Hayes still finds the kill. He's traded out by the EWP. But that at least brings a body low for the CTs. There's the follow-up as well. Calypso dug out. Now numbers evened up, and the B site about to be overwhelmed.
Oh, and Nguyen got flashbang so good, and that was like a 5-second flashbang. He was blind on site for so long. And now they have the B bomb side. What was looking like an uphill battle. They've reached a peak, and now it's all downhill from here. Dogs of War looking to retake the B site. Of course, not the easiest of tasks. It's probably one of the hardest sites to retake, honestly, in all of the maps in Counter-Strike. Now they have a smoke. They have rainbow nades on Explosive, who's now just starting to use some of it right here. But they can block off one of the entrance. That's going to be likely to be either B tunnels or the door for them to buy some space. Or they might just opt for the save. I think that might be the safer option. Yeah, they're just going to go with that. Yeah. Smart decision. I like that.
I do too, especially with Wen's money where it's at. They would have still been able to buy. Calypso would have been able to drop, but it would have been getting a little bit more chipped away. And why not just keep your economy healthy? You let them get one round here, but then you got a chance to get some right back. You've already taken Tool out, so it's not like they're building some huge bank behind them. You give yourself the best opportunity to have the double op up if you want to bring everything that you need into this round. Looks like it's Augs for days.
Yeah, it's also one of the differentiating factors for me between advanced teams and MDL level teams is that they often have poor money management and poor decision making, obviously compared to teams like Astralis, for example, who have phenomenal economy management. Jet opens it. That's a nice first pick. Aggressive on Cat, gets rewarded for it. But yeah, I like to see that Dogs of War are managing their economy. Yeah, they have a lot of money in the bank, but that was an unnecessary risk to take, and now they have a lot of weapons coming into this round plus a man advantage. So here we go. Long gate control belongs to Mythic. Poland brings it back in tunnels with the aggression coming out from Dogs of War, but Calypso maintains that for his team. So 4 versus 3, Mike, and it seems like Mythic players are satisfied with this long gate control, and they might just look to commit from here.
This is such an aggressive CT side from Dogs of War, and I'm kind of loving it. they're not resting on anything, right? They give a big pick towards Catwalk, and for some teams that would prompt them to just sort of chill out, but they're going to go full bore in. Insane on site, still got a lot of players to deal with. Anger's right up in his grill, and Anger will convert the kill. So now numbers equalized. It's going to be left to Explicit to really do the damage on site. They've stolen the bomb away from him, so that's no longer an option, though he's creeping his way up the ramp. If he finds the timing on this flank, Flom could be easy pickings, and indeed he will be. That flash is so poor timed for Explicit. He would have had so much potential damage, but as it is, the round falls away, and Anger ends it with a big 4 kills on the round to secure a third for Mythic. That is so unfortunate. He had the back of Flom. It was an easy frag, and the flash blooms right as he starts to spray.
That was very poorly communicated by the Dogs of War. I mean, I can only imagine Explicit is a little bit upset with that. I mean, he had the play. He had the round in the bag. He sniffed that bone. He sniffed that cookie. And then it was taken away from him. That has to suck. Now Anger, he's spotted several players here towards long gate, and he's going to take that man advantage. Use whatever utility he can to deny them the aggression, and he doesn't want to lose that AK-47 too early on, but Mythics already has the information, and they're already transitioning to that B site. I think it's over from here. There's no way they retake B site with just pistols.
You got to imagine. Hayes gets dunked by the Deagle. A little bit of damage done. Now the trades are coming through. Rifle retrieved, and there's a second follow-up kill. Insane may have actually guaranteed himself the rifle to save, and that's what he's got to try and do. Calypso now gonna have an opportunity for a pop shot, but that is cleaned up. Insane has slipped onto the catwalk. The question becomes, can he keep that AK alive? He's got a smoke and an AK. Definitely prizes worth taking, especially since when we'll need a drop. They should be fine to do so regardless, but this allows them to get the op more comfortably and a much more solid buy going into the next.
Definitely. I also think that Mythic doesn't really have enough money in the bank to even risk more than even a single player. They've already lost 2 players in what was pretty much a full save for Dogs of War. So I don't think they're looking to lose more than that.
They're going to secure themselves in CT. You're saying they don't want to lose it. It was like there was like a second there where Insane could have peeked and found a kill. As it is, it's a little bit of a gentleman's agreement. They're going to stay alive. They're going to survive into the next. It's going to be all civilized on Dust 2, which is not a phrase I often say. I feel like this is the map that leads itself to the least civility in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, this is the most chaotic, right? This map is the definition of street Counter-Strike, right? The rules are very fundamental and basic in this map. There's nothing complex about it. There's nothing that requires a massive brain. All just aim and all teamwork, baby. Insane finds 2 kills quickly onto Mythic, and now the remaining players for Mythic are funneling out of the B tunnels. Calypso finds the first shot over peaks after he gets tagged with the AWP, so he loses his life. The B bomb site, it belongs to Mythic now. One versus 3. Hayes is planting the bomb. Now the smokes are feeding. He has no more utility to work with, but there are 2 entrances and only 1 man, but he gets overwhelmed on the door, and it is Dogs of War picking up a round. Dogs of War, though, they're looking nice. We might have lost Mike here for a second while he tries. Oh, he's back. Okay, sweet.
Discord was just being cranky with me. Sometimes it's a fickle mistress. Dogs of War, I mean, Insane is living up to his name in a big way here. I mean, you saw that aggressive peek onto its catwalk that round where they boost him up, he tucks into the corner and just pops 2 heads. But he's 14-3 right now, and he's just been having a lot of these rounds where he just goes out and frags. I mean, there's a little bit behind him, but not a ton. They're just setting him up, and he is delivering in a big way. He is bringing home the bacon.
More than that. He has 3 deaths in 10 rounds in a competitive half. I don't understand how that even plays out like that. That's crazy to me. Now, Mythic, they're trying something different here. They're going for the boost and cat. I mean, there's no one there this time around, but at least they'll have the information that has likely clear. And again, this is one of those maps where if you realize that CTs are out long A, it's very rare to expect more contention towards short. Maybe an opper holding the corner on the fall off at most. But besides that, there's really not much going on. So I think Mythic's starting to realize that. They're about to take free cat control here. But they haven't really gained much besides that.
The question is, and we're not seeing that aggression in towards tunnels either. This is a very, I would say this is the most passive round we've seen out of Dogs of War in a long time. There's no calculated aggression. I mean, the closest they're getting to it is Insane floating over to the blue dumpster right now. But he's going to be pulling off this in a moment. It's going to be a full hit from Catwalk. And we were talking about how they were stacking players on different points of the A site. Well, now we're finally seeing Mythic find the soft spot. But it's not too soft for too long, as Jet's now hitting his off shots. Now Bomb after your creep. Gonna send them right back into that AWP crosshair. Good trade, though. Poland should secure the plant here. There is no flank from Catwalk. Will now go down, but still a man advantage for the remaining Dogs of War player. And the pack is going to start to encircle their prey. There's someone from CT. There's two out towards long. There's going to be a player coming slow towards Cat. Win is going to have to find his first pick. He's looking for it, but now his position's known, and Flom can capitalize as a result. That really does secure the post plant. The AWP can stay pretty safe here. They can gain a lot of space. Look at the lineup for Poland. He picks up two big strikes in the two spot, and Calypso can find no more. So Mythic, good in the post plant. It looked like a good situation for Dogs of War, but the coordination wasn't quite there, and they got picked apart on entry.
Yeah, that was looking so promising. I was thinking in my head, this is perfectly played. They have, they maintain long A control with a man up. Poland's wounded. It's an easy 4v3. Only thing that was worrying me a little bit was the fact that Calypso had an op as well. But I would have liked to seen Win play that Cat a lot more passively. He needed to just wait as long as he could, not give up his life, not relieve them of pressure from the side. Just keep his life, come in really, really late for the sweep towards the end round. Dogs of War kind of being careless as well. Now Anger's out long A. He wants to pick up an easy round as it is Dogs of War with no armor. He's upgraded pistols. Hey, spots one and the second one as well. And he's not going to be giving away his AK. So this round is done and dust-2'd. And it is Mythic picking up a clean round. 5 players alive, exactly what they need to stabilize their economy. Something that neither of these teams has really been able to successfully do so far.
That's big. They don't even get touched in that round. Mythic, they've had some frustrating rounds of just getting picked apart as they try and get into position to set up for the stuff. That's a big one. You found what you needed to do. You did it just fine. Yes, it was against an eco, but that's the first clean anti-eco they've had. So that's a nice little milestone to check off. It's like, all right, guys, form up. We're doing this. We keep it clean. Keep it clean. And now Dogs of War on the back foot. A little bit of a struggle bus here in terms of utility. Not too bad. And it's going to be the aggressive Cat play from Jet. He caught a player off here on lower earlier. This time they're going to give him no such opportunity. So the op's going to go ahead and withdraw. They're going to get out of here. And instead, it's going to be a big green gun on the other side to find a pick towards B. Flom working solo as a man behind enemy lines, or trying to push behind enemy lines, rather. And frags. Oh, missed flick is going to cost him, though. And that's all the B presence gone for Mythic.
Yeah, I like that risk, though, from Flom regardless. I mean, he felt that he had the site clear. He didn't really expect Calypso to be just swinging down from the lower side. So unlucky for him, but things are tied up. Well played by Calypso. And now Mythic players, the ruse is coming out to play. 3 players out long A. They have that late middle lurk that will come late. Cat and flank these players who are kind of stuck towards elbow. And this could either end horribly for Dogs of War or great if they sniff out that mid player.
Tucked in towards Gandalf. You kind of love this spot. He's been making a living off of these off angles, but Poland is looking right for it, and he'll find the kill instead. This should be the round just about locked up with the bow on it. His Anger's now coming in from the flank, picks up Jet, close up, can't win the duel, and this is all falling apart. Explicit has to try and get out of this spot, but they're kind of committed here, and they are getting knocked down as a result. It's just Calypso and in, and the Dogs are going to be hunting him instead this round, as Mythic do claim their 7th. And pick up the double op. It's interesting. Bold.
If there is a map that has a viable possibility with double op set up on Seaside, it honestly is Dust 2, right? It's not really a map that is like ultra fast paced. It's a lot of pick potential. You can just play it slow if you wish. Kind of, go up or B, wait for the smokes to fade, look for a pick there, look for a pick long, go up Cat, look for a pick on the game helper position. Anything is really possible, but it seems like Mythic is starting to sense weakness towards this B site. Flom has been successfully opening this up, and there it is once again. It's going to be Lex this time, but it is a round secured nonetheless. Now Flom still in middle towards T-spawn, securing the round. Poland's there for the support, but he falls, and I think that's going to be it. 8-5.
That's going to be it indeed. You're trying to run down that Opper with the pistols. You know that he's alone, or you assume that he's alone. Oh, no, big surprise. Here's Poland. To distract, find a kill, slow them down just enough. And so Mythic claimed their 8th. What was looking to be a really rough T-side, because we do generally expect to see that T-side be pretty strong on Dust 2.
Right.
They do recover very nicely. And the Dogs of War, it's like they had like 3 tricks, and the 3 tricks were great. But then Mythic figured those tricks out, and now they're like, all right, what now, boys?
Yeah, and Dust 2 is also a really unforgiving map on the CT side, right? Like if you have an advantageous scenario that you aren't able to close out, it seems like it's like ultra punishing to lose these types of rounds. And I think if Dogs of War review this VOD, I think it'll come down to that 1-4v3 retake. Now, Flom's finding the opening pick on the A side. This is really weak as a defense here for Dogs of War, as they've lost control of Cat, and they've lost control of Long. The double whammy, the ultimate CT weakness here. And look at Explicit and his teammate. They're unable to find any safe haven, but it's going to be Ultra Lex, the man, the legend, the myth, opens up the round. I think it's going to end with a split right here.
Okay, Explicit at least gets one. Swaps himself to an AK. He's not going to be long for this world, though. Hey, chiming in another notch on the belt. He will eventually be mopped up by the man you were calling out, Lex. And it'll be a 9th round for Mythic, looking to close this out with double digits against what will be a somewhat shattered buy on the other side. The autos come out. This is presumably going to be the mid-door spam. There's the op for Poland as well. This is the classic, just put as many scopes down mid as possible in the initial. See if you can do up some damage. And the shot's already ringing through, and you can see how hesitant they are. Meanwhile, you have Mythic players just rattling on towards the B-bomb site. So before they even get through, there's going to be 2 Ts here ready to receive them. And that is not the situation you want to find if you're CTs. Coming back, Calypso has to do a ton of work, and he'll do so. What are those scout shots, Calypso? 2 quick headshots, 2 quick deaths. He's been laid low, but that was exactly what his team needed to get back into this.
And look at Hayes' confidence right now, just taking those duels out the B. But this is all a ruse. The remaining Mythic players are coming out towards the long A side, and by the time they realize it, they might lose one player here. And when he might be Lex's victim here, he has the AUG, he's scoped up towards Car, and he's looking, he spotted a shoulder, and there it is, the first victim. So things are evened up, and we're down to a 2 versus 2 on the retake. Now, luckily for Dogs, he's a lot easier to retake in these kind of scenarios, but while I'm going towards Pit, actually, sorry, that's Lex going towards Pit. That's kind of worrying.
A little unusual. You know, AUG still has a scope on it. I think he'll probably play more towards the card position than actually back in towards the Pit. You don't really want to have the op stuck in that spot. But Flom is beautifully positioned to catch them as they come out of Catwalk. He finds the first, then tags the second, and Lux can just knock that in with a little putter, using his top golf skills, putting them to great effect. Just a little bit of that chip shot, you know, go for the accuracy. So, double digits for Mythic. When they were down 4-1 at one point. That's a great recovery.
Yeah.
It was really, really dominant down the half.
Absolutely. Honestly, I really felt that half was a lot more competitive than it ended. It feels like Dogs of War could have, you know, gotten at least 2 or 3 rounds out of that had they just secured that 1-4v3. That was such a crucial retake for them to win. But, of course, they are up against Mythic, who are infinitely experienced, who've been playing the game for many, many years. So these are not type of players that will drop easily. Now, Mythic looking to bring in some of that early aggression once again. It's going to be towards Cat this time around. Flom is tapping away, but nothing for the Flock Master himself. And it's going to be Dogs of War setting up for the B split.
He's going to get aggressive. He's playing on the other side of the smoke. They can't expect this. He's going to find one, looking for more as well. Has the fadeaway smoke to get out of there if he needs to. They will eventually run him down, but that's going to just set up Lex to move right back in. Okay, Lex. Face them all down. They line up. He knocks them down one by one. And the pistol round is claimed by Mythic with a little bit of flair on the end of it.
Man, did you see those? Okay, that 3K by Lex, amazing, beautiful, right? But did you see those flashbangs from Lex before that? Hayes was in the corner, and the flashbangs were landing on the wall right next to Hayes, which means he's immune to the flash, but the other team was just full blind constantly. That was so well played. Now Lex is down below, feeling maybe a little bit over-aggressive, gives away an M4, a 1-for-1 trade, not worth it at all.
Decidedly not. Unfortunately, Hayes is going to be here to do a little bit of mop-up duty, but this is still getting bloody. Very expensive compared to what it could have been. And I think that second M1 will be retrievable. It will indeed. So Flom's got that. It's no real problem there, but still, maybe a little more aggressive than it needed to be. They'll be all right, though, Mythic moving into the next. But the op is out for Jet. It's a glass cannon, to be fair. But let's see what he can do with the big green gun now that he's on the Seaside. Tag down mid. Nice start. Nice little start to get it going.
And it ends. Forcing a smoke through long, never a good idea. Always ends poorly, and Dogs of War have already lost 3 players. Now it's down to Explicit and Jet. It's going to be hard to claw their way out of this one. But if Mythic decides to be over-aggressive and give away their lives like this, that might be the key. Explicit doubling down, taking very little damage in return as well. That is exactly the kind of turnaround that they need. And they have the bomb control. This is still very much possible. Mythic can't get overconfident here.
Absolutely, especially when the one player on the B-bomb site is Poland with 13 HP tucked in towards the back. They throw a nade his way. Immediately, they don't have a nade. That's the round wide open. He's just going to be chilling, waiting for a potential rotate to come in. But the rotators are so far away that if they get that tap right onto his head, He's a dead man. There's the spot. There's the shot. That's the B bomb site right for the taking. And now it's a 2-on-2 situation where the bomb is going to be planted and Mythic are going to be locked out with 3 flashbangs to try and get back in.
Oh god, what is that smoke? Flashbangs going high. This is all just a delay. Mythic, and I think they're hearing Anger in the tunnels now. I think they're going to be ready for that. Yeah, there it is. Jack's already kind of looking for it now. And if Anger peeks out just a little bit too soon, he might lose his life. I think he's realizing that he's being posted up on as well.
There's the kill, and there should be an easy crossfire. Haze position's now known. He'll clear because he's got the veteran savvy to know that somebody should be in this spot, but it's just difficult to do when you've got that crossfire set up. There's no real threat for them to focus on. So it'll be a 6th round here for the Dogs of War. And that was a little odd from Mythic because it looked like they had such a good setup early on, and then they just forced that mid-doors fight and get caught out, and it all falls apart.
Yeah, that was a 2 versus 5.
Yeah.
They just lost a 2v5. That's massive. Big error coming out from Mythic. Now, again, we talked about how unforgiving the CT side is on this map. Now, Mythic's down to just pistols and armor, down to the double eco, so they will force up into this round. And if Dogs of War can successfully close out this round, they might have themselves a second as well. So this could very well be a 12-8.
Okay, first taps. Flom's trying to get back. He's going to get around the corner as well, I think. I don't believe he got tagged on that retreat. So he's out and down towards CT as well, trying to continue to be a thorn in their side. That's exactly what he's going to be. Nguyen's moving his direction again. There's a tag, but not a kill this time. Though it will quickly be traded up by the flank now coming in from Anger. This gets so very dangerous. Anger's now alone, but it's a 1v2. This is not out of the realm of possibility. He's also one of the few players on that side who's got armor. So the bomb will be planted. Shit nearly burns himself alive. Interesting decision there and his own team's molly. A little bit bold. Now he's very vulnerable.
Yeah, he's
One
stuck.
tag, all it'll take.
Yeah, he's stuck. He's calling for support as much as possible right now. He has no way out of that position. Explicit. It's really all down to him. Jet probably holding down the door with his AWP. Actually, he's just going to go ahead and take cover. He's way too low for that. And Explicit up from above finds Anger. Nice shot. And round secured, but man, that got really scary for a second. But we're back into the realm of sanity. And Dogs of War looking to pick up another round right here with Mythic's economy in the shambles. Should be an easy one here. I don't really expect much out of the Mythic side. Maybe upgraded pistol for Haze and Anger, but I think I was just going to save for the op.
Yeah, they want to get those big green guns out. Haze is ready for it. He's going to be saving for it. They're going to be aggressive. Lots of bodies here towards long. Just turn into a melee. The USP's it's a firing range, and they're only going to find one for their trouble. So it's a bit of a mop-up from the Dogs of War. They're up to the task. The vacuum cleaner AK is just sucking up all those eco frags and making sure that not too much damage is going to be done to them in the round. It's all just playing tip-tap away, trying to win a carnival prize, but there's no prize to be had here. Smoke goes up, bomb goes down, round should be over.
Wait. Looked like Poland had that angled out perfectly. Poland's doing his homework. I like it. But 12-8. As predicted, of course, that was a full eco, and now Mythic, they have themselves another buy. But again, this, I mean, yeah, they have a 4-round lead, Mike, but this is only really just 2 gun rounds from a tie.
This is a big one. This is a very big one indeed. They've got to dominate here, and they've got to keep the money healthy enough that they can continue to grow. Otherwise, that confidence from Dogs of War is just going to build. They're going to start to overwhelm. It's a long melee early on. The player dumped outside the dumpster. That's a big frag to find. It's traded, yes, but long is closed for business, and the CTs are going to hold domain here for a moment. Still, trades theoretically do favor the T's at this point, so keep an eye on that fact. There's a spot towards Suicide. Does Lex want to challenge this? There's an op watching his position. No way he should peek out at this point. It's just too dangerous. But he's sticking around, trying to find more damage. We've seen each other. It's a little bit of a standoff and skirmish, and the player's going to take advantage of that to slide up towards the catwalk. Oh, that flash is so good. He's blind, pushed off the spot. They're still coming through. He knows they're here. Here's the footsteps, so he'll be communicating that to his squad. And it looks like he actually wants to get aggressive off the smoke. They turn their back to him. He exploits it, turns it into 2 big kills, and there's another over towards B. It's all just going to be Jet, who's lost the bomb in mid and has an op. What a catastrophe. And it'll be the op of Flom instead descending to his grave. I mean, yes, a smoke in towards mid is great, but it is not a wall, Roy. It is not a wall.
Never a wall. You always have to keep a player kind of holding that down. Unfortunately for Dogs of War as well, they sent the bomb out middle, and one issue with that is if you send the bomb out middle and one of these players dies, right? The bomb is just so hard to recover from the B site. Now, Mythic picked up the 13th round. Dogs of War have fully invested into this one. Surprised Insane didn't buy up as well. It's kind of odd. But I think they might be going for the double eco here once again, try to break Mythic's economy, but it's going to be a fast beast play this time around, but they're unable to get past the smoke this time because so much utility is being dumped out here by Mythic.
They're just getting picked apart. There's bullets flying from every direction. Doesn't even matter whether the players can see. They're still going to find it. Jet uses the big gun on the server, though, to open up a bomb site, and that's opportunity to at least get a plant out of this, but they don't even care. Lex is walking through flames just to delay them a little bit. That's the op cleaned up. Calypso's going to be able to punch that bomb down, and that's important to get them a little bit of money moving forward, but Mythic will easily claim round number 14.
Yeah, the bigger issue for me as well right now is the Dogs of War have lost their loss bonus. So yeah, they have a 2-round loss bonus right here, plus the bomb plant, but that doesn't really leave them with a lot of money. So now they have to make a tough decision. Do they go with a double AK buy or save for the tie? That's really the question. I'm surprised they're not really taking a timeout right here. That'd be so worth it. But no, they're just going to go ahead and settle for the save. They know exactly what they want to do. And it's going to be 3 Deagles, a scout in the hands of Calypso, who looked insane with that, by the way, in the first half. He's going to try to do some more damage here as well.
Calypso with a scout is the one silver line. And I could see him converting a little bit of damage. Doesn't even find the tag, though, and Lex is going to get a kill and then slip back in towards mid. Completely unpunished for his efforts. The ops watching from the car as well. Flom should have a shooting gallery, but not if Hayes kills them all first. 3 kills to his name. It's just going to be Calypso, the man with the scout, who will be the man who's getting flanked with a scout in hand. And it will be 15 rounds for Mythic. They secure map and match point.
7 rounds in a row. That's a tough one, Mike. That is a tough one.
That is tough.
But luckily for them, they have weapons now. Their economy is recovered. Jet has an AWP as well, of course. You know, that's kind of the bread and butter of the T side. So I'm not all hope is lost, but it's definitely an uphill battle nonetheless. Now it's going to be heavy, aggressive play, but the counter utility for Mythic is just so good.
So much damage early, and they're not punished. They're not punished at all. They just fade away, and they're still finding more. The spam is great. Angles are lined up, and the nades are still sailing in. Hayes gets one for free, just playing a game of geometry. Well, he'll get his toes a little bit burned here. Somehow they're still staying relatively clean. Now using the cover of smoke to slip away. I mean, this is ridiculous for Mythic just to not be hurt at this point. They're playing like that sort of skirmisher CS where you hit and fall back, hit and fall back, and they've put it to great effect all the way up and down long. Now finally they've caught Hayes down a car, and that'll be the op shot that puts him down. He's dropped, and at least there's a wrinkle out of the defense, but the flank's going to be coming in just a moment. Lex is already pushed all the way up through mid. He's going to be coming down long, so they've got to hit this site, and they've got to hit this site hard.
Yeah, I mean, not only is this a flank, but this is a containment as well, right? Flom, nice shot from Calypso. Insane takes down Anger. Now Flom's all alone on the site. He's gotten some damage off. Poland's support is amazing. Not letting them cross the site just yet. And it's all down to Jet now. 1 versus 3. He has a flank coming in. 30 seconds left on the clock. Not looking good.
Not at all. He won't even get past the first. It's Flom to put him down, op on op. 16-8 is your final score line. And while it was a good early showing for the Dogs of War, there were flashes in there. At the end of the day, they just didn't quite have the depth to go toe-to-toe with Mythic at this point, and it really did show towards the end of the stretch there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we said it right in the first half. There's so many signs of life for Dogs of War. I feel like it could have been a much more competitive half. I think they definitely will have to review how they approach the A retakes, or kind of like understand it fundamentally. And I would like to see better like lurk timings and flank timings on the Dogs of War as well. Now, of course, Mythic is, you know, a group of legends. These guys have been around the scene for a long time. They have an infinite amount of experience. You know, Hayes, Flom, all these players, Lex, they've been around, you know, top of the competitive pool for a long time. So a good test of skill for Dogs of War. Unfortunately, they were no match this time around, but I do believe in their progress and I do believe in their development. But that concludes the first match for us, guys. If you haven't done so already, please do follow our socials to stay up to date with everything happening within Winners League, as well as win.gg. Please follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, as well as Mike's and mine down below. The next match should be in about 12 minutes. It will be Intact versus Royal. That should be a really awesome game to watch, and that's coming up in about 12 minutes or so, guys. Keep your eyes on the timer, and the action will be back before you even know it.